So I guess I need a premium account for Twitter, which is fine by me. I don't need that.
Oh, I'm not even on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, we're live. Okay.
Hello.
Okay. So hi, everybody.
We're just chit chatting here like nobody else is around,
Right. And I'm clicking and I'm like, hey, Rockstar, we're live. So here we go. Let me just make sure we're live on Instagram as well. So welcome to Suson Essentials Self-Care Podcast with the Rockstar Coach Michelle Froedge, where we're talking about abundance for the second time. And we're going to have 2 more shows like this because, look, people, this is a big issue. And it doesn't have to be a big issue. And so what we're going to do is take this big issue and make it this small. Before we get into talking about abundance and how it could be at your fingertips, which I'm going to tell you, we are experiencing that. I'm going to go through, I've got a quick laundry list of housekeeping. Oh, that was the other thing. I want to talk about the church. I know. Never thought you'd ever hear that come out of my mouth. Let's talk about church. Okay. So the first, actually, I'll start with the church. So, because it's so real to me. So I live in Powder Springs, and there's a church called West Cobb Church, just that simple. And I was driving by, and it was literally pulling me in energetically into the church. And I'm like, well, I don't really want to go to church. Anybody who knows me, I love Jesus. I love God. I breathe by what he tells me, and I don't go to church. So I went to church, and they were so nice. I'm like, it's a trick. Then I met with the pastor, David Camp. I'm like, it's a trick. I didn't think that at all, actually. Matter of fact, my husband Andrew and I met with the pastor, David Camp, and I think the lunch went an hour and a half over, and nobody caught it because we were all so engaged. Okay. The other thing, then I joined their circle. I think it's called Circle of Friends or something, which is their Sunday morning class at 9:00. I'm sorry, they blew me over with the love and the openness and the acceptance that they have. So I'm just going to say this. If you need a church, which honestly didn't think we all did, you want to go to West Cobb. And it's in Powder Springs, and the pastor is David Camp, and everybody there is beautiful. I'm trying to find a fault. Can't do it. Okay, that's that one. Number 2, are you feeling kind of crappy lately if you're living in Georgia? Yes. This, I have no scientific evidence. This is a complete download. So, well, I do have evidence that my eyes are itching. You notice I have no makeup on. Kind of look crappy, but my eyes are itching like crazy for days. I'm like, well, they must be spraying something in the air. Then I talked to my husband about it. He's like, well, there are no mosquitoes out here. I'm like, well, that's interesting, right? And we live by a stream. So I have it on as a download that they're spraying glyphosate, actually a blend of chemicals, glyphosate being one of them, into the air, which is causing this lack of mosquitoes and, of course, itchy eyes. So I have a solution. This is not a prescription. If you need to see a medical professional, do that. You can set up an appointment with me, but this is what I'm doing. So we know that ginkgo will neutralize glyphosate, taking that. And we know that glyphosate pulls minerals out of your body, taking that, trace minerals. So you can, go see your doctor, your nutritionist, come see me, as a consult. I can get that for you, shipped straight to your door. That handles that. Next, we're going to talk about, Michelle's got this wisdom circle. Could you talk about that, please?
Yeah. So Wisdom Circle for female entrepreneurs. It's a monthly membership, but you can simply do month to month. There's no commitment. If you are a female entrepreneur, I'm having a free intro session tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern. And I encourage you, just check it out. It's only going to take a little bit of your time to experience what happens in there. Huge energies, huge energy shifts, wisdom coming from being channeled for your business, for you personally, and solutions for your business as well. It's not all, in the spiritual realm. It is also practical solutions, because myself, as well as the other women in the circle, have all been in business for a lot of years, and we have a lot of knowledge, and we all help and support one another. So please come and check that out. If you want to be there, just message or post a comment, and I'll be in touch to give you the Zoom link.
Okay, so let me really tell you what this is about, because she's not doing herself justice, and I'm actually just sharing this in the group that I have on Facebook so other people can hear this. How do you do? Is it highlight, or is it followers?
If it's on a page, it's followers, or it's everyone. It can be everyone.
So at everyone. Okay. So let me just do that so we can get everyone. Thank you. So you're amazing, Michelle. We are live now. Okay. So now everyone will at least get a notification if you're on Facebook. Okay. So let me.
That was fun.
Yeah. Well, so I have a new system from Verizon, and I don't know how to manage it yet. So.
Well, I liked the little sound it made.
Yeah. So here we go. I just put it on Do Not Disturb. Okay. So let me tell you what's real. Okay. So when you have the energy, let me just explain how this shows up. First of all, it shows up as abundance in the area that you need. Okay. Like it could be financial, it could be joy, it could be abundance of joyful relationships, and so I'm going to describe what's shown up for me. One, my relationship with my husband has become very harmonic, and we both had opportunities to heal and improve how we related, and we both stood up and took the step in the right direction. So it's not like there was anything wrong with him, and there's nothing wrong with me. We just had a journey. And so we have abundance of joy, abundance of love, and it's delightful. But let's say you're just in it for the cash. Yeah. Let's do that. So, we in this group, right, are putting our collective energies. And so we're feeding off of the energy, the positive, abundant energy. Now, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred and transformed. So we're just transferring energy of abundance back and forth. My sales, I'm just trying to keep up. Just telling you, trying to keep up. It's the highest I've ever been in my entire life with my own company. So
fantastic.
Oh, it's amazing. Mm-hmm. So and I think it's really important that that if you're not, okay, here's the thing. If you are not willing to invest in yourself for your business growth, I want you to ask your question, why are you expecting anybody else to invest in your products or services? And really, at the end of the day, that's the question you need to pose to yourself, because if you're not willing to invest, why the heck should anybody else invest?
I have never heard it put that way before, and that is so perfect.
Thank you. I mean, it came from God. That's what he just said.
So true.
Okay? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you,
now,
Jodi.
So that's tomorrow night, guys. And if you put a link, can you post, or do I need to post for you? You can post.
I would prefer that they just put a comment, and then I will send them a link privately.
Perfect.
Yes, because it is for female entrepreneurs, and so we are being very specific about that.
Yeah, for sure. So, and then I'm just going to do 2 quick other ones, then we'll go to my book later. But the Lionsgate, I'm in Barrington tomorrow, Barrington, Illinois, my hometown. So I am at the Path to Wellness Healing Center. It's in Lake Barrington. My friend of 42 years, Linda Stevens, owns that healing center. She's really funny. She's the one who told me that I could heal my torn rotator cuff without surgery, and I told her she was batshit crazy. And guess what I did?
And then you did. And guess who's batshit crazy now?
I think it's a requirement for what we do.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. So we have 2 sessions for the Lionsgate, and we have myself, Dr. J.R. Hayes, and Rajai Keldani. And so the 3 of us are in this energy enhancement system, which is a blend of different type of Tesla and Rife technologies, among other, frequencies. I will tell you, you will come in, you will write your intention. There'll be no talking, and you'll just feel Raj and I and Dr. JR connect with source, connect with spirit, and bring in and help you manifest what you want. It will be unrecognizable for you. We've already been in there once. We did it for some people. They came out like, and that's when I'm like, oh, we need to do this on the Lionsgate. So the first class is filled. The second class at 4:44 p.m. Central Time is open. And when we fill that second class, we'll open up one more at 5:55. So that's that. And then on August 15th, I have a stress less session here. And then we'll talk about my book, which is, I'm sorry, flipping amazing. The book, Emotional Healing, Toxic-Free Living. We came up with a subtitle to really help people understand what this is about. Model new behaviors and reset old belief systems. And when you do that, people, your life is on fire. And you can do that by reading the book. You can do that by joining Michelle's class, the Wisdom Circle. So let's get this party started, and let's talk about abundance. But actually, all of this was about abundance.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually wait till the end of the show to do this, but I'm like, you know what? We need to tell you guys first where you can grow exactly. Let's get, like to make this happen. So, Michelle, why don't you tell us where you would like to start today on abundance? And maybe we should talk about some of the interferences, because I know we talked about it last time we did the show, but maybe just do a short recap about what you think are some important things to highlight, and then we can, do a deeper dive.
As far as interferences, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the interferences of abundance, right? And I'm going to make this larger here. There
sure. Really, a lot of them are very big. They can show up in a lot of different ways, but outdated beliefs. So belief systems that we have in our subconscious. A lot of times they're in our subconscious. Sometimes they're in our conscious mind, but they can be things that we are not even aware of, which is subconscious. And, this shows up as, I feel like I'm doing all the things, right? I'm in this program, or I've got this coach, or, whatever. I did all this healing, but it's still not happening. I'm still in the same place. Well, you might want to check out those beliefs that you have, because a lot of us grew up with different beliefs around money. And I'm using money specifically, but this can show up like as self-worth. Right? So if you don't feel like you're worthy of love, happiness, joy, relationships, money, success, whatever it is, then guess what? You're not going to get those things, or you're going to get those things and then you're going to lose them. due to self-sabotage or whatever, because you don't feel you're worthy to have them. And so that can be self-worth, that can be beliefs around money. How many of you have heard, sayings like money doesn't grow on trees, or the root of all money is the root of all evil, right? So when we hear these things, even though people the people that said them likely had good intentions when they were saying these things to us, it was for our protection. But what they didn't understand is actually they were holding us back. They were keeping us from true abundance and receiving what it is that God, the universe, source, wants us to receive. We are not meant to live in lack and scarcity. We are meant to live abundantly because we live in an abundant universe, an unlimited universe. And that's how we were created as well. And so those beliefs that we grew up with or that we've taken on along the way in our journey are all things that sometimes need to be cleared if we have beliefs that are holding us back from receiving abundance. So I think, self-worth and then those belief systems are two big things that I can think of right now.
Well, so I think self-worth is so huge. I want to date myself back to 1996, 1994 or 1996. Two separate companies. One was for Illinois and one wasn't actually is national and international. I was launching the debit card program for the United States, and I was the lowest paid individual on the planet. Did you just hear that? I launched the debit card for the United States and internationally and was paid squat. People were being paid double what I was being paid. And so as long as we have a thought form that says that we are not worthy of that money, that is the frequency we are sending. So you have to ask yourself what frequency you're sending. I know what frequency I was sending, and it wasn't a good one. Okay. Then let's talk about the root of all evil, shall we? Like, I totally grew up with that. Jennifer Carlquist is here. She is a complete delight, by the way. Thank you for showing up, Jennifer. She's so amazing. I mean, and you should see her artwork. She paints hearts.
Ooh.
Well, she paints more than hearts, but she painted a heart for me. It was pretty amazing. It's in my healing center. So I saw money being used for evil. And the question you have to ask yourself is, as a child, how did you see money? How was it being used? Was it being used to help people? Or was it being used for greed? And I did see both. Don't get me wrong. My father gave and donated a lot to the homeless. A lot. I mean, right on the street. Like, he would just be there giving people money and food and stop the car. I want to give him some money. Because he lived that. And so, but we see that and we can anchor in compassion and supporting humanity, but we also see the other side, and you can't discount it. You can't discount how it's playing a role in your life. So, Michelle, I'm going to ask you, and if you don't have one to share, that is fine. That we didn't really, you and I don't really prep. By the way, you look really radiant.
Thank you. My 3 ring lights are really doing well today.
Yeah, I had a light on, but it was like kind of wonky. So see that?
Oh, yeah.
Just got rid of it. Delightful.
Thank you.
How did you see money growing up or even as a young adult? What comes up for you that you saw and experienced that you would like to share with the community?
Yeah, the message that rang through my head over and over and over is that you have to work hard for it.
Oh, yeah.
It is like It's not easy. You have to bust your ass. You have to, work long hours. You have to sacrifice something in order to make money. And what I know to be true now is that is so not true. Yes, do we need to put our effort and energy into what it is that we're called to do? Sure, yes, because that's a positive energy that we're putting out into the world, and we will be rewarded for that. But we do not have to sacrifice time with our family. We do not have to run ourselves ragged. When we are in alignment, when we are doing what we are called to do, and mind you, this can change throughout our lives. I was called to be a real estate broker for 20 plus years, and then I wasn't. Then I was called into coaching and energy work, and so now this is where I am. And so, we have to understand that we're not capable of making money just in one way. Think of all the people that have reinvented themselves over and over and over. Think of the people that have lost billions, right? They may have gone bankrupt, and guess what? They built it all back up and then some.
Well, my dad never went bankrupt, but he lost his money several times and made it back again. So I'm like, okay, do over.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Because he understood the truth about money. And it's not that you lose it and it's done, like it's gone. That's not the case.
Right.
It's replenishable, because money is just energy. It's just energy. It is what we exchange. And so when you understand money and how it works and how you receive it and how it flows, then you don't have to worry about being called into something else, right? When I was called from real estate, making a lot of money, into this, I was scared. Because I thought, oh my gosh, how am I going to make money? Well, it's because I didn't have a full comprehension of how money worked, and that it didn't matter what I was called to do. If I was doing what I was meant to do, I would make money. And so,
well, it's interesting. My someone there, I won't say what event it was, but there was an event and it was fairly expensive, and it was a blend of a couple different people, and someone said, well, it seems kind of expensive for this event. And I said, not really. I go, you got, this and this. And I'm like, so what we did was we cleared the energy, which was really that person's energy, around money and like the value, and everything got booked up like this, right? And
that's
so the universe,
that word expensive, that's a trigger word. That is something that I choose not to say any longer, because it can be that word for someone else, but it doesn't have to be that for me. Think of, it's not that way for the billionaire. They don't think that's expensive. So it's all perception. And if I choose not to feel it's expensive, if I choose that's a good value, then it's a good value.
So it's interesting. So I also have exchanged the word expensive for value. And I also look at the opportunity cost. Do you?
Absolutely. Yeah,
right?
Sure.
So if I'm spending my time and money in one place, then the real cost of attending an event is what you're missing out on by not going to another event, or if you don't attend the event that you're meant to attend, then you don't receive that energy that pushes you to the next level. That's your real cost.
Yeah.
I said, look, oh, they're telling me to talk about this. Okay. So when I was disabled, my award money was about $1,025 or something like that a month. No, that was in 2013. Not going real far on that.
Mm-mm.
So I found a way to take that money, and then I got a student loan to go to grad school, right? And I kept on finding ways to have money come into my field. I sold everything I didn't need, got rid of cable, went with an antenna, and I started investing in things that would help me rise up. So water filters, EMF neutralizers. I put money into things that were gonna, like, I knew without a doubt would make me a better version of who I am today. And so what I say is look at what the distractions are. Hold on a second. I need to ground. Hold on. Okay, there you go. Thank you. So you have to look at what the distractions are that are either taking your time and or money away. And right now I'm also being guided not to buy anything unless I'm guided by spirit to do so, because they said if you try to return it or whatever, there could be a lot of energy spent on the back end if you buy something that's not for your highest good. Right? We've all been there. Do business with AT&T for a day, and that will explain everything. Sorry, AT&T.
No, you're not.
They actually walked up to my house to like make sales call. I'm like, I'm sorry, did you just do what? So the point is that maybe exchange the word expensive for what's the value, right? What value are you receiving from the exchange, and not even the expense, the exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
because it can be something, I've had this happen where, I've made an offer, I've had a program or something, and I will be met with an objection of money. And I look at, the person, and I work with females, so it's a female. And she has her hair done, all the time. And she has her nails done all the time. And, going out, this and that, and seeing them on social media, spending money here and there and everywhere. And so it's not about whether someone can find the money, whether they think it's too much money to spend. It's about value, and is it important to them? And so just what you were saying about, my wisdom circle, are you willing to invest money in your own business, in yourself? And sometimes we may decide, you know what I receive from getting my nails done and getting my hair done, I feel really good. It makes me feel good to do that. And that's great. That's okay. There is nothing wrong with that. What I do find interesting is when people say, I can't afford it, or I don't have the money. Those are things to watch out for too, because I bet if it's something you really, really wanted, you could afford it, or you would find the money, even if you had to save for it. Right. And so I think that when we're talking about money, as far as abundance, it's important to look at how we word things, just like expensive, just like I can't afford, or I don't have the money. Because if we look at it in a way that, okay, if money weren't a subject, if it wasn't an issue, would I choose to purchase this? And if the answer is yes, why am I choosing not to purchase it now? Is it because I'm scared? Is it because I'm not sure of what so there's all sorts of things depending on what it is that you're purchasing or not purchasing. So I think it's important to take things a little bit deeper instead of just like the blanket, oh, I don't have the money for that, or I can't afford it, or no, that's too expensive. Why are you not purchasing it? If it doesn't resonate for you, don't buy it. Whether you had the money or not, you shouldn't be buying it. It's like taking our money and understanding that money is working for us. But if we're just spending it on frivolous things that really have no value to us, and I'm not saying, if you want a cookie or, some beautiful painting that isn't necessary, if you have the money for it and it makes you happy, great. But if you're blowing your money, and we all know what that means, if we're blowing money is energy and it feels that. And
because you blow out your energy too.
There you go. And so then you start wondering why other things, even if your bank account is still full, why are other things feeling a little empty? Why am I not getting?
Is your cup empty?
There you go. Yeah.
So I want to add to that about, because you said so many important things, and I don't want to lose it. Okay. One, you said I can't afford it and I don't have the money. And I want to cancel that in the universe for both of us. Okay.
Oh yeah. I don't believe that at all.
Yeah. Right. So abracadabra, you know what that means. What you are what you speak. That is the real definition of abracadabra. You are what you speak. So I want to say, speak into existence those things that you want, not the things that you don't think that you're worthy of. I got stuck. I was over at the night I got you your outfit that I just mailed to you. You haven't seen yet. So I'm at Marietta Square, and I'm in the parking lot that's across the street from the farmers market, and it's Friday night. And looking for an outfit for myself, came out with one for you. I mean,
I manifested that. I needed a new outfit. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So in spirit, I mean, like I saw it in spirits, like she needs that. I'm like, okay.
There you go.
So, and it's from Andrew too, by the way, but I didn't say
Of course. Thank you.
So I get back to the parking lot to pull out, and I have a very large car now. It's Armada, Nissan Armada. It's huge. I got backed in. Now they parked accurately, but it's a very small parking lot. And then the way that the lot's created, they really didn't leave any room for any inch. And I'm like, I'm stuck here. And then I said, cancel. And I said, Spirit, help me move through this. Like, I need to go. Literally within 5 minutes, the woman who was parked in front of me pulled out, came here and pulled out in less than 5 minutes, honestly. I'd like to give you a list, but I won't. It's not necessary. What I will tell you is that my connection to my belief system about how powerful I am, like whether it's true or not, you don't have to believe it. The thing is, I believe it. Mm-hmm. And because I believe it, I'm manifesting the crap out of things lately. From the minute parking spot to getting out of a parking spot to getting a gig that I wanted, like all of that is happening like this. And I'm like, I'll be really careful about what I say.
Exactly.
Right. So knowing that abracadabra, we are what we speak. What's the payoff for saying I can't afford it, or I don't have the money? You really don't want to say I don't have the money. It's not a good idea. You don't even want to think it, because when you think it hits the farthest star in the universe. Okay? And reverberates and comes back to you. So, peeps, shift your mindset.
And a lot of that goes back to those things that we heard growing up or that we've picked up along the way, or worthiness, those types of things. So they're all connected.
Yeah, and what we've learned to add value to. And I'm going to give an example of someone who was a client last year. And I work with animals, and I don't know how to say this. I have to really be guided, because it's first of all, the dog died. Secondly, I did the first few visits gratis because I love animals so much, and I saw the dog suffering on Facebook and told the person who I know to bring the dog in, hoping that he and she would see how the dog was responding, which the dog was responding very positively, like really positively. And when she had to pay, she stopped bringing the dog in. But that same person had money to travel all over the place and leave the dog behind. Now, if you think there's not karma on that, which also tells me that, like, if you're willing to invest money to adopt a soul, by the way, that includes taking care of it. I'll just leave it at that. The point is that this person had a belief system that they didn't have enough money, and I was giving them a sliding scale to help their baby heal itself. And this thing is, both of them are sick too. So they don't even believe in investing in themselves to help them heal themselves. And so abundance is not always about money. And I would say that abundance comes with your health. And it's not just your physical health, quite frankly. It's really your mental health, because your mental health, there's absolutely tons of science on it now. Your emotions will drive every disease state that you ever get. And when my book comes out, whoa, I'm going to tell you, you're going to get some surprises. And I want to share a screen, because I want to show people the modified title to my book, because it's so transformational. I will tell you that we haven't published this yet, like the new title or the thing, but this is the Kindle version. It's still emotional healing, toxic-free living. But what is it that people are really getting out of it? Modeling new behaviors and resetting old belief systems.
Beautiful.
Right? And my doctor, the one who was the one beneath my wings, Dr. Michelle Froedge in Palatine, Illinois, is endorsing the book. She just kept on writing, as you can see. She's like, you need to follow this woman. So, but when you model a new behavior, because if you're not getting where you need to go, that means you need to view the world through a different lens. And I think that working with Michelle, working with me, whoever you are called to work with, we don't care. We just want you healthy, right? Michelle and I do things differently, by the way. I would say Michelle is softer. I would say I'm soft. I'm very soft, but I can also be a hard ass in your face. So if you are afraid of a hard ass, don't come to me. My client, Ashley Kirk, wrote in one of her testimonies, or her video testimony, she goes, Yeah, she goes, you always know what, she goes, you're always going to get truth with Jodi. She goes, she doesn't have a filter. And it's what she needed, because it gave her a sense of security, knowing that she was always getting truth and she didn't have to play a guessing game. Now, you will always get truth with Michelle as well. She just does it differently. Would you agree?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. There are certain clients that I'm more in your face with, because that's what they need and they've given permission to do so. And so, yeah, it always depends on the person for me.
Yeah. And same here. I mean, there are certain people, like, I know that if I do, I'll call the hard ass approach, that I'll fracture their soul. Trust me, I'm not going to do that to you, right?
No, but there's some, like, for me personally, I'm one of those that I need it. I need to be hit over the head by a 2x4. Otherwise, I don't get it. Like, it really.
Please don't say that.
No.
Really, Andrew.
I really have always been that. No, not always. I have been that way as I've gotten older. I've been more that way because I'm just like, and unless you go whack, then it's like, oh, wait. Okay. All right. Pay attention. Got it. Okay. Got it. So I prefer that approach because even though I don't necessarily, love that it has to be that way, it really does have to be that way for me in most cases.
So Andrew's that way, and he literally says that, and he literally gets that. So abracadabra.
I get that. I do.
I love it.
It just about 2-3 weeks ago, and I realized things that I had no idea about for years, literally years, but it had to come in this very specific, harsh way, because every other way it was being said to me, it wasn't clicking, right? And it's partially timing as well, and what our soul is ready for. Of course, all of those things are true. Those things at that moment I needed to hear, and I needed to hear them in that specific way. It wasn't fun. It sucked real bad.
Why do you think I got hit over the head with the glyphosate and like using the ginkgo and the minerals? So I promote minerals. I love the ginkgo. I created my own ginkgo tree in the healing center. I paper macheted it on the walls. We have ginkgo leaves all over the house. Open any book in the house, you'll find a ginkgo, right? Tree leaf. And they're like, could you just consume it? Could you just consume it? Like, there really, just consume it. So I'm taking it, like I said, 4 times a day. So yeah, I got hit over the head, and like, and up those minerals, because you know what glyphosate does to you. Okay. So like, just glyphosate was used in World War II to decalcify pipes, and now it's just decalcifying your body. We need minerals. Okay, so let's go on to more abundant behaviors. I want to talk about this. So I'm going to give people homework for the next time, right? So what I want you to do is, make a list, and all the things that you're doing, of all the things, how you spend your day, and then reread that list and say, okay, which ones are high value activities and which ones are a waste of time, right? Now, I want to say that you'll probably put down that you're on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram. And I would say that if you're on it, and this is just my opinion, you have to decide for yourself, okay?
Right.
Yeah. So if you're on it, I'm on it for business. So I'm like, scheduling stuff and boom, boom, boom. And then honestly, I don't spend a lot of time on the personal side. I do some, because I want to stay connected with my friends. But I want to tell you, I'm very, very limited in how much I spend from a personal standpoint. How much I spend, I'm not going to tell you. You have to decide that for yourself, what's your value, where it brings you joy, and what helps you to decompress. So maybe you use it to decompress, which is important. But if you are using social media to decompress, ask yourself, are you actually getting decompressed? Or maybe you take your socks and shoes off and walk outside. She says, rad idea.
Mhm.
So when you look at those and then take a look, go back and review the list. And if you're not spending enough time, according to you, okay, on those high value activities, then maybe take out some of those low level activities, the ones that aren't getting you, to where you want to go. And, try that on for a while. One of the things that my boss asked me to do, because he wanted me to sell more. I was working at this bank. It was back just before I went on disability. And he said, I want you to track your time, what you do every 5 minutes. And so I did. And I was actually pretty high level. He was surprised. And I was the number one salesperson out of all my entire team in 3 states combined. So everything that they were doing, I was still doing more sales than all of them combined. Yet he wanted to just, it was a punitive environment. They wanted me out. They wanted to make my life miserable, but I took it as a value add. And the value was that I intuitively knew when to call people to close a sale. I intuitively knew who to call and when to call and who not to call. And so what I would tell you is that if you're being guided not to do something, then don't do it. Don't push it, because that's the universe giving you a signal. What kind of homework might you want to give somebody, Michelle?
Well, before I do that, I just want to kind of back up what you were saying about, high value activities, because I recall my first, I'll say, spiritual coach. I immediately, from our very first call, just the intro call that we had, I remember telling her that I didn't have enough time. She was asking me to do this and that, and all of these different things that I could be doing while I was still working my brokerage job, and all of this. And I was just like, oh, there's no way. I don't even have enough time to do what I do now. How am I supposed to do this? And she just looked at me, and I don't remember exactly what she said to me, but she challenged me immediately to stop saying that, first of all, and to look at things differently, and to tell myself I had all the time in the world. I had time for what I wanted to have time for. And, all of these different things to allow myself to see that I had as much time as I wanted. And now my life is so filled, like I'm busy, and people will say to me, oh my gosh, how do you do all that you do? And yet I have a lot of free time. Like, I have free time during the day.
Yeah, because you cut out the BS.
Well, yeah. I mean, is it blocks of 4 hours at a time? Not usually, but that's because that's the way I've created my life and my schedule. Yeah. Because I like little pieces here and little pieces there. And yes, I like to take a bath in the evening, or, sit in the hot tub or whatever.
Well, so honey, I'm in the bathtub before I get my feet hit the ground. After I've meditated, I'm in the bath.
Yeah.
Like, before I start my day is in the bath my salts and my oils and,
So it's what we choose to have time for. But yes, it did take some deprogramming and figuring out that I didn't need to be doing certain things, right? And so I will challenge those of you who are having some pushback on that homework. Just do it. Just do it. And even if you think it's silly, just do it, because I promise you, you'll find at least one thing that you can cut out. Just like I maybe my homework will be going through everything that you spend money on in a month, okay? And that might look like going through your credit card statement or your bank statement, or when you're paying cash for something, writing it down in a notebook. And this may take you a little bit, because I know a lot of people have these subscriptions, that they don't even use. Or, does anybody take a paper anymore? I don't know. Maybe somebody still gets a paper. Well, some people love that, and that's great if you do. I'm not knocking that. But do you read it every day? Because if you don't, and you would be just as well off if you were okay to read a digital version, maybe try a digital version.
What's that coffee to go? It's over at Starbucks.
Yeah.
I mean, really, guys, that's like, how much is a cup of coffee at Starbucks nowadays? I haven't been there
I don't know. But and that's okay if that's your thing. But if there's
it's okay if it's your thing, only if it's not stopping you, right, from doing the one thing that you really want. And
here's the thing. If you aren't doing something that you really want because you're getting a cup of coffee at Starbucks every day, then I'm going to say you really don't want that thing. Because you would figure
because it's not really your value.
Yeah.
Because you have to understand, and I know you do, I'm sorry for the rest. People shouldn't, when I went on disability, I needed and wanted clean water. I needed and wanted, EMF neutralizers. I wanted farmer food. Like, we go to the farmer's market. I need money. I cut out my cable. We still don't have cable.
I haven't had it. I don't even know how many years. I don't know. I don't watch television. I've never been a TV watcher, so it doesn't. Yeah, that's not.
I also cut out like nails. I cut out,
I did for a very long time. Yeah.
Yeah. I cut out a health club because I found that I loved exercising outside. And so before you cut out the health club, see if you enjoy being outside and exercising first before you make that choice.
Yeah.
Understand what type of eggs are really for you. That's the one at the health club or the one outside. What's your egg choice?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I wouldn't say, there's no right or wrong to your list of what you spend money on. There is no right or wrong. So you just have to look at that for yourself, and you decide what is most important to you. And it's not just about saving money. It's really about saving that energy source and putting energy into the things that you really want to support and the things that you want to continue, and the things that are truly valuable to you. So that's what I would say my homework would be.
So the homework you got is time and money. And she's got something because she gave me a little right on the lips. Let me hear what she has to say. So what is it that you want people to? Of course you do. Well, it's really true. So Fayla is always talking about starting with heart, leading with love. And so she says this: in order for you to have, you're so amazing, first of all. In order for you to have greater discernment, once you make your list about what your high value is and around time and money, she said, sit with it and feel your heart. Is it feeling icky in there when you think about, let's say, doing your nails versus or paying for cable? Or are you filled with love and happiness and joy? And love will show up as a warm feeling in your heart. Um, some people just call that joy. You can label it any way you want, but if it feels good, and you know the difference between a good feeling and not a good feeling. She's saying, lead with love. Let your heart tell you. She says, make sure, okay, I hear you. She says, make sure, mommy, tell them that their heart needs to drive the brain, not the brain driving the heart. She says, we kind of got it mixed up when we all got trained and programmed. And that's one of the key things to reprogramming your belief system. Thank you. Can I kiss? A gentle kiss. None of the bite things I got earlier, right? Kiss?
I love that too. I want to make one other point. When you're making these lists, especially the one around money, really truly don't put judgment on it, because thinking about like what Jodi was just saying, if you get your nails done and somebody else doesn't, don't think that they are doing something better because they don't, or the other way around. Because if you're getting your nails done, if you're purchasing something, if you're purchasing anything, you are giving money to someone. You are paying someone for a service or a product, and people work. You are providing employment for someone. You are helping someone feed their family. You are helping someone pay their bills. So don't look at it in a judgmental way. Think of it as in a value way. Very, very different energy. And what Fagala was saying, if you do allow your heart to lead and tell your mind what is most valuable to you, then you will make the right decision. So again, there's no right or wrong and no judgment on this, because you are doing a good thing with all of it. It's just what is best for you.
So I agree completely, especially about not judging you're not here to compare yourself to others. You're here to understand what lights you up. Now, Tinkerbell is piping in, and let me just hear accurately. She says, thank you, Tinker. Tinkerbell, before I got her, was in a basement, a dark basement. And because the woman who is completely delightful, who had her in her family, her then boyfriend, now husband, didn't like Tinker's voice. And so she was put in a basement so she would be kept quiet, a dark basement. And so that's why she was put up for adoption, and that's how we met and all of that. And what Tinker is saying is that she goes, Mommy and Daddy last night took down did I take down all of them? Apparently so. All of her heart walls. Because she put up these heart walls so she didn't have to feel. You can call them a heart wall. You can call them a suit of armor. Something that keeps your heart protected from feeling. And so what I'll say is, if you're not feeling with your heart, come see us. I mean, do you know how to take down heart walls as well? Or not really?
I channel all of my work. So if that's what's needed, it will happen.
That's what I thought too. Okay. Yes. Here. Yeah. So either one of us, right? If you are coming to us, it's because you're guided and because God wants us to help you. That's how that works. But if your heart is stuck, if you can't feel the love, then you need to see us so that you can live by your highest values. Because right now you're doing something that's maybe just a little robotic. You're just going through the motions And so it's going to be hard to live by your highest values and feel that, because you've put that protection up for very good cause. But it's time to peel that layer and peel the onion and be the light that God intended you to be. That's complete. Anything you want to add to that?
No, that was beautiful.
Thank you. Sister, it is 4:00.
It is.
Mm-hmm. I actually don't know. I have to check my calendar if I have a show next week. I don't think I scheduled anything. It's hilarious. This book has taken on a life of its own. If you're listening to this and you would like to be on the Self-Care podcast, reach out to me. We're looking for people who want to help other people shift their mindset, right? Who are willing to share what they've done to get out of the box, or how they've helped their clients get out of the box, or nutrition, right? Or any other type of frequency healing, or something better, right? Because I'm open to what the universe has to provide. So if you feel that there's a connection, reach out to me so we can get you on the show. Michelle will be here next month again. She's on every month, first Tuesday of every month. And oh, wow. So the first Tuesday is September 3rd. Let me just sit with that for a minute. That is an interesting date. September is always a wonderful month for me. I say that with just. That's the day my brother died. It also was the day my old boyfriend died. He didn't die. My old boyfriend's birthday was September 3rd, and then my brother died on his birthday. So that's September 3rd.
My soul dog, Tyler, crossed over on September 3rd.
Interesting. Yeah. Right. And I believe in numbers, and we're not going to go into all that now, but we'll talk about that together after the show. So that's when you can see Michelle and I next. And, we're going to talk about abundance again, because I think there's more to say. Do you agree?
I mean, there's always a ton to say around abundance. I would love to get some questions from people so that we could channel answers, or, have a discussion.
So what we could do, and we can talk offline about, we could do quick channels for people on September 3rd.
Mm-hmm. That would be really great. Could channel some abundance messages, like what's blocking them from certain types of abundance. I think that would be wonderful.
Okay. So September 3rd, people, do you hear this? We are going to channel for you what your abundance issues are. And we won't be clearing them, but we'll tell you what the issue is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
But
like it.
This is the key. So thank you, everybody. Join us. And if you are watching the replay, please reach out to Michelle if you want to join her wisdom circle. Okay. Please reach out to me if you would like to join my stress less session. Her wisdom circle is tomorrow. You can try it for free. You should do it. Invest in yourself, peeps.
Yeah.
All right. We are going to end the show. Have a blessed rest of the week. And manifest. We are in the Lion's Gate.
Yeah. Perfect timing.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye.